Namaste and welcome to Dragonfly Cookery and Knives. This is this video is going to be about production cookeries in our series of production cookeries versus handmade cookeries. This particular company that I like a lot, it's one of my favorite production companies to purchase cookeries or knives from, is Condor Tools and Knives. One of their principal designers, who I have a tremendous amount of respect for, I really like the products that he designs, is Joe Flowers. He's a survivalist, he's a martial artist, he does a lot of training and teaching people how to survive and use machetes, and he's just a very personable guy and very well respected in the knife community. Now, Joe designs a lot of the blades that I tend to gravitate to from Condor Tools and Knives. One of the first ones that I purchased was this particular knife. It is not a kukri. It is actually an E-Nep, and this comes from Thailand. This is a lot of times I've seen E-Neps being confused with kukris. Now this particular E-Nep design that they do has a longer handle than most, and it's definitely could be used as a two-handed handle. But this is the style of the blade. It's got a very smooth powder coating on the side. It's made out of 1075 high carbon steel, which is what they use for all their larger blades. It's a very good steel, holds a very good edge. It's very excellent. Now this has a convex edge. As you can see, it has a kukri style in that it has it has a recurve to it. It's got a very prominent belly, but a straighter spine. And of course the handle is considerably different. And this comes from Southeast Asia in Thailand. It's where it originates from. Flat grind that comes down to a convex edge. It's got a thicker spine at the tang, but thins out at the spine of the blade. This is a very useful E-Nep. It's very functional. I really like it. It's very user friendly. Now, Condor Tool and Knives is actually a company that is located in Santa Ana, El Salvador. So this is a company that produces their blades in El Salvador. It's a company that goes all the way back to Germany, and then started producing blades and tools in El Salvador and Central America. Condor Tool and Knives was formed to market to the American and European consumer, much to our pleasure. Now, what I love about this is it comes with a very sturdy and very well-made leather scabbard, and it has two retention straps that are on that can pivot and turn out of the way, so that when you are taking the blade out or putting the blade back in, they're not endangered of being cut, and yet you can turn them back around and snap them in. And this you will see on frequently used on a lot of their scabbard designs for their larger blades, as I will show. Plus, you have a belt loop that pivots. So it's a leather belt loop. It's very sturdy and also pivots, so that you don't have to take it off of your belt in order to sit down. You can actually sit down comfortably with this still strapped to your side. Very, very good quality wood. They have brass pins in it. Very sturdy, very strong, well made, well designed. Now, for those of you who are may have been watching the Alone series, will know that one of the competitors, a guy by the name of Alan Kay, competed and won using a kukri. And the kukri that he used was made by Condor Tools and Knives. It was this particular kukri, not the exact one, but the model. This is called the Heavy Duty Kukri, designed by Joe Flowers. And it comes in that very excellent leather scabbard, again with the retention strap that swivels out of the way, and your belt loop that also moves out of the way. Open back, easy to take out. Excellent quality. Now the Kukri itself, again made out of that 1075 high carbon steel, excellent steel. Very thick spine, probably about 5/16 of an inch, and doesn't taper until you get to the bevel for the edge. You've got a coating on the side, a 90-degree spine, which is great for throwing sparks off of a ferro rod, and yet at the elbow to the tip it's rounded, which gives it a very nice pleasant appeal. The blade is convex edged, very sharp, very good. They even put a little cowdy on this, very small, just to kind of give honor, I guess, to the Nepalese kukris. Hardwood handle, riveted and panwall design, very thick spine and thick tang. Flares to the back like a kukri does to keep it in your hand and keep it from flying out. The only thing I don't like about the design of this is that the handle tends to be a little bit rounded, hence why I've wrapped it with some sports tape that you'd use for tennis rackets. That helps kind of give it a little bit more tackiness and keeps it from rolling on it when you chop. It's still, not totally round, so it still doesn't roll that much, but it does tend to roll. And it's a very, very strong tip on it. You could get in here and pry with it, and you don't have to worry about this tip breaking. It's very, very well thought out design. You got a large lanyard hole for your lanyard, which allows you to keep it in your hand if you're fearful that it might fly out of your hand. All in all, forms follows function, very simple but yet very, very functional and very well done. When Alan Kay won the Alone series, of course, he met with Joe and made some suggestions on how they could improve this design. And they went to the drawing board and came up with this. This is their newer design, but yet still has some of the same features that the original has. Now with the scabbard, what they've done is gone with a plastic scabbard that's kind of like a Kydex sheath, but it's not Kydex, it's plastic. But it's very reminiscent of Cold Steel's Securex in that it has a locking mechanism here and houses the blade very well. So it's got good retention, it won't fall out. In order to get it, you just push off and it comes right out. You have your leather keeper over the back that does swivel out of the way. It has a dangler with a leather snap dangler on a D-ring, which allows it to pivot and move so you don't have to take it off your belt when you're sitting down. You have different lashing points on the side of it, so very thought out, well thought out and executed scabbard. Good form follows function. Now the Kukri itself, the same blade profile as the original, same length, same convex edge, coating on the side. Everything's the same. They took the little cowdy out, but you have a good 90 degrees, so you could throw sparks off of a ferro rod there or off the back of the spine. It comes with a micarta handle, which is different than the wood. Still the same shape and design, but with the micarta, because it has a bit of texture to it, it's not polished, but somewhat raw. This is the natural micarta with white spacers. Looks very nice. If you get it wet in your hand, it's going to stick in your hand. It's not going to come flying out of your hand. It was going to become slippery. So you get a really good purchase on that. I'm sure that Alan Kay suggested that because he was in a very wet environment. Also, you have a steel pommel on the back, and you have hollow pins, which allows for different lanyard application. Now this steel pommel is great for crushing nuts for protein, or your protein intake, or if you're hammering your tent stakes. So there's a lot of good function to that. Form follows function to a T with this particular improvement, and this is called the K-Tack Kukri. Now it comes in two colors. You get the tan, which I like, with your natural micarta handle, and it also comes in this dark olive green with your green micarta handle. Very attractive. Where this one has the brown leather, this has the black leather, which makes it very attractive. This one I haven't taken out of the scabbard that much, so it has a tighter fit. So that does loosen up a little bit, but this is what it looks like. Very beautiful, elegant, and very form follows function, very useful tool. Great job, great improvements, and I like it when a company listens to their customers and takes their suggestion. Granted, Alan Kay is a bit of a celebrity now, but still, they listened to their customer and took their suggestions and made some very relevant improvements to their product. Very, very well done. Very good. Now another design that I'm going to show, it's not a real kukri, but it was based off of a kukri, along with another blade. And that is this one. It's called the Amalgam machete. And this was one of Joe Flower's designs that I like very much. This one, again, has your rotating straps, although they're a little tight right now. I haven't taken them and used them that much. But this is the blade. Very, very cool looking, very modern looking, and it definitely looks like a parang, and that's one of the blades that he based it off of, was a parang and a kukri. You have your recurve edge down here, your slight turn, a false edge bevel up at the top, flat ground, 1075 high carbon steel, Brazilian walnut, I believe, is the handle. He put some brass wire there that looks very pretty, gives a nice accent. This can be two-handed used or single-handed use, and this would be more functional as a parang, so you're going to use snap cuts, and it's, like I said, two-handed. You can get back with this wonderful pommel on the end. You can definitely get a good leverage for extended chopping. So it's a very useful tool, very well designed, and very beautiful, and based off of two very wonderful blade designs, which is your parang and a kukri. Comes with that great leather scabbard that I described before, with that pivoted way of carry. So this is a very excellent tool. So that pretty much concludes Condor tool and knives. It's a shorter video than the other ones. Thank you very much for watching. Again, like and subscribe on my YouTube page. Leave any comments there. Also visit me on my Facebook page at Blue Dragonfly Trading Post and leave comments, or if you want more specifications of measurement, weight, design, please leave those comments and questions there. Also, if you will, please visit my website at dragonflycookeryandknives.com. Thank you very much. Namaste and God bless.